What's up, guys? Welcome back to video, and today we'll be able to talk about movie news to break down today, and that is with some updates on Fantastic Four, and with the John Krasinski addressing if he's going to return as Reed Richards or not in the MCU, and is along with some casting updates, and with a new Spider-Man solo spin-off film with the dog lover has been announced, and much more as well. So in this video, I mean, breaking all down to talk about some Fantastic Four updates, as well as a new Spider-Man solo spin-off film with the dog lover, which has been announced, and for what this means for the future of the Sony Spider-Man universe, and much more as well. But if you're like this, be sure to subscribe to the Asian bell so it's really like this in the future. So let's get to it. And now, starting right at the bat, we're going to talk about some updates about the upcoming Fantastic Four reboot, and that's with John Krasinski, who recently addressed if he's going to return as Reed Richards or not in the MCU for the upcoming Fantastic Four reboot. And when asked in the interview, he said this: there aren't any discussions at all. The only discussion I had was actually in the second to the last week of Jack Ryan. Kevin Feige called and said, would you ever fly to LA and play in our sandbox for a day? I was honored to do it. I flew right from Budapest when we wrapped, and we went right to the Dodger Strait set. I'm a big fan of all these characters in that world, and so to get to play in that sandbox for one day was a real thrill. And now for what this means, this means that John Krasinski literally came out and addressed if he's going to return, and we're pretty sure that as our answer right there is that he hasn't had a discussions at all about returning as Reed Richards in the MCU. And to be completely honest, I don't see John Krasinski returning anymore as Reed Richards in the MCU for the Fantastic Four reboot. I mean, it was fun seeing him in Multiverse of Madness as part of the Illuminati, and also dying within the first 5 minutes of screen time by Wanda. And even with them being locked in a multi-year picture deal, especially as Reed Richards, I don't see that happening, but I'm glad that John Krasinski literally came out and addressed if he's going to return as Reed Richards or not. And also, I'll tell that we have some casting updates for Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, and that's with actor Austin Butler, who you may have known recently, who starred in Elvis, and he is up for the running as a Human Torch in the Fantastic Four reboot. And this comes again from the On My podcast with Jeff Sider, who's a well-known journalist and insider in the industry. He said that he spoke with Austin Butler's team, and they said that he's up for the running to play Giant Storm, aka the Human Torch, in Fantastic Four. And with this, I kind of I don't see this happening as well. I mean, I love Austin Butler and Elvis. I think that this would be a good idea, but at the same time, I don't see that happening, especially with the Austin Butler with a deep voice of playing on the Human Torch. But I think that would be a good idea also. And next, we have to talk about a new Spider-Man solo spin-off film that was recently announced with Donald Glover as a hymnal hustler. And now that this comes directly from the Hollywood Reporter that Donald Glover will start produce his own Spider-Man solo spin-off film called Hymnal Hustler. And now with Hymnal Hustler in the comics, he's a known singer in a band called Mercy Killers, where his abilities include hypnosis. And now, especially with Donald Glover playing a villain in an upcoming Spider-Man solo spin-off film, and with this, I think Sony should just make a Miles Morales film where they can follow up on Donald Glover's other character, who is Aaron Davis, aka Prowler. And even for what Sony is trying to establish what they're doing, I think what Sony's doing is kind of confusing. And after with Sony and what they've done, what they're trying to establish in Sony's Spider-Man universe, it will just have to see where it goes from there. And even when this all started back as an internet trend with Donald Glover as Spider-Man, and that's what inspired the character Miles Morales. And even with this, I think it's very confusing, especially for what Sony is trying to do here. And lastly, we gotta talk about the drama that has been going on behind the scenes at the DC Studios as it starts starting to continue, and that's with the upcoming Flash movie. And it's being reported here that with the Henry Cavill Superman and Wonder Woman and their cameos have been removed from the upcoming Flash film. It's because of the recent news that happened, that with James Gunn and Peter Safran, who are the new leaders of the DC Studios, are now rebooting the entire DC universe and starting from scratch and completely resetting everything. And now even with Henry Cavill Superman, that whose cameo has been removed from the Flash movie, and because with Man of Steel 2, it's officially happening, but it will not involve Henry Cavill Superman. It will be a different Superman. It will not make sense for Henry Cavill Superman to be cameoing in the Flash film if this Superman played by Henry Cavill was not going to continue his role in the DC universe any further. And now even with Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman not having a cameo in the upcoming Flash movie, and this comes from a statement that Patty Jenkins made about how Wonder Woman 3 is officially moving forward by director Patty Jenkins. And now even with the Wonder Woman not having a cameo in the upcoming film and in the upcoming Flash movie, and that makes Gal Gadot's role as a Wonder Woman and now moving forward in the new DC universe, James Gunn has planned for his 10-year plan. And now on top of that, we also have to talk about the Black Adam drama that's been going on, and that's with The Rock having odds at Warner of the Discovery and DC being in conflict. And for what we thought, like recently with the Black Adam, that was going to make a profit at the box office, and it turns out it was like a big flop. And it's because with the Rock that fought hard to bring Henry Cavill Superman back, and it turns out it wasn't a big guarantee. And now, especially with Henry Cavill Superman and now moving forward in the new DC universe, and even with like the Rock, who was no longer going to be a Black Adam anymore, and now continuing his role, and even with like the false news that like the Rock followed the WB the Discovery and the Black Adam account on Instagram, and it turned out to be like not true. And like even with the Rock, who would decline cameo as Black Adam in the upcoming Shazam Fury of the Gods, and even with this, I think like the Rock will want all this to himself, especially with him being a Black Adam, and he said it's a statement that they're going for the big leagues, and even with this Black Adam film that has been like a flop at the box office. I mean, I enjoy Black Adam. I think I really enjoy it for the Rock and for his action as well, and even as now being available on streaming on HBO Max, and like even well as drama, I think that's just for the best. And yeah, with all this, I think that is like a wild news, and with the upcoming Fantastic Four, with John Krasinski and not coming back as Richards, and with some other updates, and hopefully that will get sooner rather than later. I'm excited about the new upcoming Spider-Man solo spin-off film with Donald Glover as a him hustler, and with all this drama that's been going on behind the scenes at DC Studios, and hopefully we'll get some announcements for what James Gunn and Peter Safran have in store for the new 10-year plan for the DC universe, with the Black Adam drama, with the Superman and Wonder Woman, and not having their cameos in the upcoming Flash movie, and especially with the Flash movie that's going to have a ton of controversy around it as well. So that's your first video. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on all this movie news? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for future videos. And like videos, always follow me on Twitter. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.